Listen, if you ever want to see and understand a Plutonian relationship playing out, just look at Kehlani and Victoria Monet's Synastry. It is one of the most Plutonian relationships I've seen. One of them has literally 7 aspects to the other person's chart. And I'm going to let you guess. I'm going to give you 5 seconds on who has the most Pluto aspects. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Victoria Monet. Victoria Monet has 7 planets aspecting Kehlani's chart. However, Kehlani has 5. So they have the type of relationship that I always say, if we're gonna have a Pluto relationship, it better be mutual. I will never, ever, ever, ever again be in any type of dynamic where I am the only one with the Pluto aspects to someone else, or they are the only ones with Pluto aspects to me. No, it has to be mutual. And since this is my Roman Empire, because I adore them both as artists and I listen to a lot of their music, and I think they are beautiful people. And I'm also fascinated by the fact that they dated and they did it so shyly, like so sneakily. I think about this a lot. It is my Roman Empire. And so I'm going to go over some of their synastry with you guys. Let's talk about it. Before I do that, my disclaimer is I understand that I am looking at this through a Neptunian lens. I am merely a fan. Okay, I don't know these people. I don't know their lives. I cannot confirm that anything that I am inferring based on what I'm hearing in the music, what they have shared about their relationship, what I see in the astrology, I can't confirm any of that is true. I don't know them, but I know astrology, so walk with me. So, like I said, they have a lot of Pluto aspects. Victoria has 7 Pluto aspects to Kehlani's other planets. Kehlani has 5 back to Victoria. But a couple of them stood out to me. And I'm going to start off with a really soft one. And that is Kehlani's. Well, they have it on both sides, actually. They have Pluto trine Venus on both sides. And the thing that makes this unique is the fact that even though they're extremely close in as far as their charts go, like they're both Taurus, they're only 2 years apart, both have Pluto in Scorpio. This is it's a soft and healing kind of aspect for me. It just means that they don't scare each other as far as their dark side. Pluto can be that dark side of you, that shadow side of you, and it just goes to show with it touching Venus and it being a soft or a positive aspect, they don't scare each other on that side. They can't scare each other away with that. It's also very sexual. It's a deep healing type of relationship. But it also talks about them being each other's muse. Venus deals with music. We have a lot of songs that Kehlani has written about Victoria, and we have songs that Victoria has written about Kehlani. And so we really see that they inspired each other. And I would say that they probably not only inspired each other just like in the relationship, but musically they probably learned a lot from each other. Pluto was there, so there was some type of transformation that was happening as far as them as artists. I think that also the transformation that happened in music has to do with them adding on and bringing more queer voices into R&B. And I think that Kehlani is really kind of dedicated to that in its sense. And it's nice and really juicy knowing that there was a personal relationship happening behind that. Also want to call out that they have Pluto trine Mars, which is one hot and heavy, very sexual. But not only that, it does show that they don't fight like that. Like they probably didn't fight a lot. And even if they had disagreements, I would argue that the disagreements were either resolved really quickly or they just probably don't really talk about it much. Pluto trine Mars, it just kind of mutes that aggressive anger energy. I'm in love with your fingertips. I reminisce places you kiss, girl. It's been too long. And when you rock them short nails, that slow key sentimental. Like keep them cut, though, so there ain't no. But Victoria's Pluto is opposite Kehlani's Mercury. Mercury is your thoughts, right? So this talks about them being on each other's mind a lot and almost triggering each other to think about each other. This can also talk about being led on in a way. And if you think about how Kehlani talks about their relationship, with Victoria, particularly in Hate the Club.
Drunk when I call you Monet, begging you to walk me out. Say you miss me when I leave proof. I came all this way to see you. Every word you say, see through. You be lying, baby, me too. But have to be with you to cheat you. Little toys, let me feed you. I'm so important, I still need you.
The way that it was described is almost like Victoria is very like flimsy when it comes to whether or not they want to be together, or what, like how they feel. Like it always feels like Kehlani isn't sure. The most sure thing about the relationship is the sexual connection that they have.
You see how we connect, baby, this ain't coincidental. We in your course, but you could've got it in a...
But that Pluto opposite Mercury will definitely make the Mercury person be like, am I imagining shit? Like, what is going on? And Pluto moves in a very sneaky way, a very covert way. Pluto is manipulative. Yeah, so it can lead to like feeling like you're being led on, or like you're kept on a leash, like you want to move on, but you kind of can't because you can't stop thinking about the person. It'll give that type of energy. And this is happening in the 11th and the 4th house, which talks to me about private versus out in the open. The 11th house is the house that it's happening in for Kehlani. So Kehlani feels like, hey, this is a big dream, or like you're touching some dream energy here. And Victoria keeps it more close to the chest, more personal.
Just trying to jump your bones, we don't gotta jump the boom, you know. Might be across the room, but in private we be super close. Emphasis of low, just according to the horoscopes. Looking like the stars are...
But the kicker for me was Kehlani's Pluto squares Victoria's Saturn. Yes, they are outer planets. A lot of people are going to say, what is the big deal? The big deal is the placement, the houses that they're in. Kehlani has Pluto in their 5th house. That makes so much sense. Thinking about their love life and how it's received, it makes so much sense. And Victoria has Saturn in her 7th house. Saturn in the 7th house tells me that Victoria is very thoughtful about her relationships. She doesn't just get into any type of relationship. And when she does, like, she means it. But with Kehlani having Pluto squaring that Saturn in the 7th, it makes me think of Kehlani showing that Pluto energy towards Victoria's serious relationship. That Pluto energy could include obsession, could include a little bit of like hidden anger, jealousy. And it's the 5th house, so it even implies that Kehlani finds this to be a little fun to do. Like Kehlani probably pokes fun at some of Victoria's relationships. It makes me think of in When He's Not There, where Kehlani said, you out with that boy you call a man, I should have known that you was listening. It's very like playful and like I'm not even taking that seriously. But underneath that feeling of like I'm not taking what you chose seriously is jealousy, anger, obsession, and a deep like you want it, you know, you can't stop thinking about it, it's obsession, etc. This is not a Pluto aspect, but they both have Uranus overlaying the other person's 7th house. And what that tells me is that they interrupt each other's relationships very often. Or maybe if not often, it just means that they have interrupted each other's relationships before. There's also a Pluto square Mars, which is not nice. That's probably the nastiest aspect I saw. Anyway, the moral of the story is if you're gonna deal with Pluto, make sure it's mutual and follow for more astrology content.